Here we are at our staircase renovation / kitchen renovation, and we're just going to kind of go through briefly exactly what we did here in regards to this gorgeous staircase behind me. This home is about 5 or 6 years old, and the homeowners did not like the staircase handrail, the balustrade in here. It was kind of off the shellfish, if you will, and it was just your basic colonial. Didn't really match the house, and they wanted something that would really stand out and kind of make the staircase go pop, be something that would be of interest when you came into the foyer here. So what we've installed here is a totally custom Biltmore balustrade. The stairs are the original stairs that were in here. The species is Australian cypress, and so what we've done is complemented it with, the rail is actually maple, but it's stained with walnut stain, a dark walnut stain, so it really complements and offsets the floor, as well as kind of showing off the white balusters. Briefly, what we've got here is these Newel posts are all custom made. They weren't bought. We actually built these in the shop. And what these are is this is all laminated poplar. The entire thing, there's no engineered wood in it. There's no plywood or anything like that. It's all solid material. And it basically is the same size as your Hyannis box Newel. So this is the starter Newel. And we've got a light system in here. And the lights actually will act as a night light as well as a feature light. And you can see we put a dimmer on them. Quite nice, actually. And we just finished touching up the paint on them. These Biltmore balusters, we actually purchased these through a stair company out of state. And they custom make the rake of this, the top of this baluster to match the specific rake of your stairs. So this is a standard set of stairs. It's got a 37-degree rake to it, and they actually match these to our 37-degree rake. With the lights in here, of course, we had the trick of how do we get all of our wiring through here? Do we drop the wiring through the floor? How is this going to work so we can make this all happen? So we chose to use a low-voltage light. It's a halogen low-voltage light. And it throws off very little heat, which is good because it's up inside the balusters on a small icy can. And what we've done is we've actually run the wire through the rail. And the wire is offset, so if we had to go and attach anything down through the top of the rail, the wire would be off to the side. So we've got actually a white zip cord that runs through almost all of the rail, except for one small part up top that did require it. We've got 4 Newel posts with lights in them, and this is definitely the feature along with the baluster style. The baluster style is a Biltmore style, and it basically is 3 separate 1¼ balusters held together by an 1¼ block between 2 of them. It gives us a 6¼ finish. And by code, it only means that we only need to have 1 on each step. How International Residential Code reads is that you can have no more than 4-inch or a 4-inch sphere must not pass between. So on these, we've got about 3½ inches, and we've got about 3 3/4. That just the spacing worked out to about 3 3/4 up top on the balcony. Our wiring actually comes down through this baluster, and it's continuous. It goes down, and it goes all the way down through that step at the starter Newel, and then down in the ground floor where the stairs go down, there's a junction box with high voltage, and then a transformer for these lights, and that's what the controller is set up for. It takes a standard dimmer. Sometimes you have to use a special dimmer with low voltage lighting, but not with this system. This system can use a standard dimmer, and so if you come on up the stairs, we'll show you the rest of it. Sneakers and I will. Sneakers is the protector of the staircase, and is now the new balustrade. She is the queen of the balustrade. This rail system is called a 6042, It's very simple rails. It's very elegant, but it's not as, doesn't have a big profile like a Cambridge rail or Newport style rail. It's really nice and it's kind of understated, so it doesn't take away from the newel post itself. Typically, when you see a shop-built newel, the one that you would order online, you would see the Newport or the Hyannis or something like that would have this pilaster would actually sit down lower and your rail would come in above that. Well, we wanted something that was a little bit more grand, a little bit more overstated, and gave us a little bit more room for that light in there, so we had a little bit of room for air circulation. So we chose to make sure that this pilaster sat high. The newel posts, these are balcony newels. They stand 42 inches high, plus about 3/8 of an inch for this cap. And then the landing newel, or the transition newel, that one is actually 4 feet high. And the starter newel is 53 3/16, so that's a pretty standard size for a starter newel. And that allowed for the pilaster and the cap to all sit above the balustrade itself. These lights are the terminal ends for the wiring. The wiring comes right through this rail. And then the attachment of the actual Biltmore baluster is done with it's called a #1 trim head screw. And you just barely make out where these trim head screws go through. We've still got another coat of paint to do on this. But they go down at a slight angle. They're toe-nailed in, and that's what holds that down. And then if you look really closely on here, we've got 3 spots on the rail where we've actually attached it with a screw, a full-size Torx head screw down through and into one baluster in 3 locations along this rail. Gives it a little more stability, and it also allows to keep the rail from ever popping up. Underneath, there's something called a fillet strip. This type of balustrade requires a system called a plow and a fillet. So the bottom of this rail is actually plowed out to 1 1/4 inches to allow for these 1 1/4 inch balusters to sit in there. And it comes with this pre-made strip. That's the exact width it needs to be. And we just cut it to size and fit it along here. And then we attach it with 20 or 22 gauge brad. It's like a micro brad. And the great thing about them is you don't have to fill them. It's not necessary. It's a headless nail, so you really can't see the nail once it's in there. It's really an efficient way to do it. We've got rosettes at the end here. Is a good way to terminate this. You'll see some guys when they build a balustrade, they'll wrap a newel post around a corner. It's kind of a large and cumbersome look. We've tended to get away from it a little bit. This is simple, clean. You don't have all that notching around the corner and then trying to figure out how to carry your nosing around, things like that. So we've chosen to just use, because of the size of this rail, we're using a 4-inch oval rosette, and we'll just be painting that the trim color as well. Just as an afterthought, let's look at the kitchen. This job came with a kitchen job too. The staircase, of course, was the original idea. Of course, I'm joking. We recently renovated this kitchen. It's just about complete now. And actually, this project, my brother Kurt has run this project. We used to have 2 separate rooms here. There was an 8-foot wall here that separated these 2 parts of this large room, and there was an arched opening. And there was a lot of wasted space. It just didn't flow very well. The kitchen was kind of shoved all the way to the front end of the ship here. And so what we've done is remove this wall, open it all up, filled in the flooring, and we've done this totally custom kitchen. It's all soft close hardware in it, and we've got 2 different colors here. So the island is actually a complementary color to the surrounding cabinets. And we had some features to work with. We got beams up above that we filled in to give it some more detail. And then you can see this cabinetry is actually a multi-level cabinetry. We don't have all the cabinets just going to 10 feet or 9 feet. We've actually got some cabinetry running higher and then some multi-depths as well. This is a kitchen for someone who loves to cook. Got the gas stove here, the Wolf gas stove. Very high-end appliances. We've got a Sub-Zero here that looks just like it's a cabinet. So you don't notice it once it's closed. And freezer drawers down bottom. Very high-end kitchen. It was a lot of fun to do. I actually didn't do a whole lot on this kitchen, but I watched the process as it went on. In this area, we've got a banquette here. This was part of the kitchen cabinetry. And now we're looking at designing the table to go here. And this table will probably be either walnut or cherry, something that complements the other woods that are going on in here and will be along the same design styles as some of these thicker pedestal items. New windows complement the area, bringing a little bit more light, and it just kind of pulls this open floor plan feeling all together. And that's where we stand from this point.